Good morning and welcome to Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening's Sunday morning service. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get ready to feel the energy of love and joy and sharing that together. Sing along if you are so inclined. Here we go. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, sing my love, sing my love into the world. I sing my love, sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, live my peace, live my peace into the world. Live my peace, I live my peace, live my peace into the world. I sing my love now, I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love into the world. Sing my love into the world. Thank you for being here this morning to sing your love into the world, to be your love into the world. We appreciate you. We are a loving and inclusive and diverse community. So if you are familiar with our community, go ahead and pull some of those faces into your mind's eye and drop them into your heart and send some love out. If you're brand new, how about look in the mirror and see the love and the beauty that you are and choose to be open to sharing that in the world, to seeing it in yourself and seeing it in each other. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. I see you for the light that you are. I see your light, I see your love, I see who you are. Don't ever underestimate the beauty and the gift of connecting with each other. So go ahead and turn to those comments and say good morning to someone and tell them you see the love and the light in them. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. Oh, I see you for the light that you are. I see your light, I see your love, I see who you are. One more time. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. I see you for the light that you are. I see your light, I see your love, I see who you are. I see your light, I see your love, I see who you are. It was so good to see several of your smiling faces and those lights of love in person last week. Thank you so much for coming out to the Art League and joining us for our in-person service. We will have a couple of those next month as well, and that will be the second and fourth Sundays of September. We will meet at the Art League at 10 a.m. Our online service will always be at 11 a.m. and our in-person service for right now until we are having both at the same time. We will have the in-person service at 10 a.m. and the online service at 11 a.m. So again, that is the second and fourth Sundays, pardon me, of September that we'll be back at the Art League. So it was great seeing a lot of you. And we did mask up, so we're doing our best to continue to keep each other safe. So let's drop into our hearts a little deeper by being willing to allow our minds to become still. When my mind becomes still, there's a place that I go. When my mind becomes still, there's a place that I go. And there's love, yes, there's love, so much love flowing through me. When my mind becomes still, I feel thee. My heart opens up, there's a place that I go. When my heart opens up, there's a place there's love, yes, there's love, so much love flowing through me when my heart opens up. I feel thee. When my mind becomes still, there's a place that I go. When my heart opens up, there's a place that I go. And there's love, yes, there's love, so much love flowing through me when my heart opens up. I feel thee. So I quiet my mind in this moment. I open my heart to feel the indwelling presence of Spirit. I make the conscious choice right here and right now to look inside and see, what am I thinking, what am I feeling, how am I acting in this world? What do I want to keep of that, and what do I want to release of that, so that what shows up on the outside, when it matches that inner environment, what shows up on the outside is kindness and is love. It is joy and peace and harmony and connection and respect. So I take a moment and I cultivate my inner environment. I start with myself, to look at me with the eyes of love and kindness, and then to look outward at the world with the eyes of love and kindness, even when I'm afraid, even when I'm upset or angry or sad, to choose to be in my power, my divine power that is oneness, that is connection, regardless of outside circumstances. And so I take the time, I make the commitment. I am loyal to love. I am loyal to peace. I am loyal to kindness. I am loyal to trusting in the divine moving through me. And I release any false placed loyalty, any misplaced loyalty in pain or separation. So as my mind becomes still and my heart opens up, I feel this indwelling Spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so let's take a moment, allow the music to wash over us. Maybe place your hand on your heart if you feel so led. And continue this exercise for just a moment with the beautiful flute as your backdrop. Rest in awareness and choose what thoughts, what feelings, what actions you will be loyal to this day. Rest in that awareness.
Hello, my beloveds. I'm Annie Lewis with today's reading. It says from Science of the Mind magazine for August 22nd, 2021, See Through the Eyes of Love. A man has made at least a start on discovering the meaning of human life when he plants shade trees under which he knows what full well he will never sit. From Elton Trueblood. And from The Creative Mind and Success by Ernest Holmes. One of the first things to do is to learn to love everybody. If you have not done this, begin to do so at once. There is always more good than bad in people, and seeing the good tends to bring it forth. And here's the reading. Recently, I saw this quote on Facebook. Even the strongest hands can lose their grip. The greatest minds can become cloudy, and the biggest of hearts can break. So be kind. Just always be kind. What great advice. I read that Hopi children are taught at an early age that there is nothing more important than having a Hopi good heart. This includes having trust and respect for others and being concerned for everyone's rights, feelings, and general welfare. American philosopher Cornel West, PhD, teaches that a rich life consists of serving others and trying to leave the world a little better than you found it. We can all have a rich life if we choose to, because we all have the ability to give love, hope, time, touch, attention, and laughter. There is a Jewish fable about a good king who is dying. He asks for his weakest subject to bring him an arrow and break it. He does easily. He then asks for a bundle of arrows to be brought to him. He asks his strongest subject to break it. He can't. The king then tells the subjects to remain united, as this will give them the strength they do not have alone. And Fred Rogers wrote, I believe appreciation is a holy thing, that when we look for what's best in a person we happen to be with at the moment, we're doing what God does all the time. So in loving and appreciating your neighbor, we're participating in something sacred. In today's affirmation. In this moment, I open my heart to feel the love of Spirit radiating through me to everything I see and everyone I encounter. I remember that all of life is a blessing and we are all God's children. Thank you.
So, have you ever had the hiccups? Of course you have. We all have. My niece gets them when she's tired. That and she falls over. She starts to just fall over things. But we've all had the hiccups, right? And everybody has their own ideas for getting rid of the hiccups. I want to tell you about a very unique idea for getting rid of the hiccups that my daddy always used. And what you need to know about Harold Snow is that he was a very calm, peaceful, loving, kind person. He never raised his voice, never got upset. So you would think, what I'm getting ready to tell you, you would think that we would have clued in over the years, but it got us every single time. If we had the hiccups, he would all of a sudden find something to be upset about. And he'd be critical, which was not his nature at all. And we'd get startled, right? We'd get defensive. I remember one time my sister Arlene tells a story about being in the tobacco field working, and her boyfriend was going to come and help that day, and she got the hiccups. And the boyfriend had already told her and my dad that he was going to be late. But because she had the hiccups, Daddy says, "Where's that sorry boy you've been going out with? I can't believe he's so late." And she was like, "Well, he said he was going to be late. Don't you remember?" He's like, "I don't remember that. I just can't believe, I don't think I can let you go out with somebody that's this irresponsible and so just disrespectful. I just don't think I can allow this." And she's like, What? You can't, what are you talking about? And he goes on for a few minutes and then he says, "Where's your hiccups?" To which she started to cry. "I can't believe you did that to me, Daddy." But The reason I thought of that this morning is because I was inspired last week listening to Dr. Ken Gordon speak at the Center for Spiritual Living Kelowna, and he talked about a book that he had read that impacted him called Divided Mind. And in this book by John Sarno, the research was proving that when you have something disturbing or painful going on around you, the brain will cease the blood flow to a certain part of the body for the purpose of taking your mind off that which is stressing you and put it on to this area of the body that's painful. And that's exactly what my dad was doing. He was taking our focus off of what was bothering us, the hiccups or whatever, and putting it on something else. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go around doing that because it's quite a shock to the system. But it did work. It worked. He would either make us afraid or make us upset, and it would take our mind off of it. I'd like to propose a different strategy of kind of going in a different direction. But I loved that research that the brain actually creates a cease in the pathway to that outside stress. It tries to anyway, and it puts our attention on something else. That's where the life work of Louise Hay comes in, of where does this pain in the body resonate with a belief or a thought. You see something's going on outside and of your world, outside in the outer world, let's say finances, that's always a good one to go to. And she has this book about Heal Your Life. I know many of you are familiar with it. And it talks about the different things that can show up in the body. So, for example, if you're afraid of moving forward or you're not feeling supported by life financially or in other ways, it can show up as lower back pain, right? That's one of the ways that the body can cease the blood flow to a certain area of the body to bring our attention, to get our attention. Our body is one of our greatest teachers. It gets our attention. Our mind is amazing. Our body is amazing. The connection, so amazing. But we have to pay attention to really get the benefit. Disturbing thoughts form in the body. Can we pay attention to our bodies and let it teach us? Our bodies and our relationships, our greatest teachers in this lifetime. Dr. Ken also talked about the research behind positive people feeling less pain. Now, I'm bringing that up today because after my talk last week, and I talked about what kind of thought would I have to believe to continually attract certain situations. A quote from Alan Cohen, I believe. Anyway, I talked about that last week, and immediately in the online service, I remembered to say this is not a time to blame yourself for negative things showing up. In the in-person service, I forgot to say that. Let me always say that. When we're talking about being positive, when we're talking about directing our thoughts in a way that feels affirmative, in no way are we saying that if you have a health condition that you're bad or you've messed up. In no way are we saying that if you have a negative situation show up in your life that you're really not doing a good job at this thing called life. That's not what we're saying at all. We are, however, saying that it's our opportunity to continually do our mental housekeeping. But we don't do that through shaming ourselves. So please hear me when I'm talking about living the best, positive, most affirming life that we can live and keeping our thoughts, as the saying goes, in heaven, keeping our thoughts in a good place. That doesn't mean that we're ignoring situations and circumstances that are negative or painful or scary. It doesn't mean that we continually put ourselves in harm's way of someone who's toxic. It doesn't mean that we shame ourselves when we have situations show up, okay? But it does mean we have the opportunity to look at our bodies and our relationships and our experiences in our life and say, okay, where can I continually do my mental housekeeping, my mental inventory? Dr. Ken, I love that talk. You should go back and check it out, Center for Spiritual Living Kelowna. It was really great. And he talked about how he was experiencing some physical pain. And so he started looking at his painful thoughts. And I invite all of us to do that. When we have a negative situation or a painful experience in our bodies, to look and say, okay, what are my mental thought patterns? What am I sticking to, loyal to? What thought patterns or beliefs am I being loyal to? I heard that saying one time that a person in a workshop said, well, I'm trying to do what you're saying here, but I'm a loyal daughter. And she said, and my mother didn't believe that I was good enough. And so I've been loyal to her belief all my life. So let's not be loyal to past pain, to other people's beliefs and ideas of us. Let's instead be loyal to love and trust. Trust in this divine energy moving through all of life. Love that leads the way from our heart when we drop in and tap into that. And one of the things that can keep that pathway clear and keep us moving in that direction of continually being in an affirmative experience of life is the mental housekeeping. My dear Edwene Gaines, one of my mentors, would always say, at night I say what I'm grateful for, and I look and see if I've put anyone outside my heart. Is anyone not free to walk the halls of my mind, she would say. But let's take it a step further and not just have it be about forgiveness, which is important and really great, but let's also look and seek out the fearful thoughts, the angry thoughts, the sad thoughts. Not to dismiss our experience of being human and having those thoughts, but to make sure that we're not perseverating on them and as Reverend Renee LeBeau would say, building a condo around it and choosing to live there. Let's make sure that we are taking our own mental inventory, much like the 12-step program, right? To continually seek an inventory of ourselves so that we don't go back into toxic relationships, bad behaviors that are not good for us, that are not productive. And so when I was thinking about that book, Mind Divided, it made me think of two things. Well, first of all, Nancy Griffith has been heavy on my heart because she was such a huge influence in my life and my musical career, and she passed away recently. So she recorded a song of Kate Wolf's called Across the Great Divide. More on that in a minute. But it made me think of that. And it also made me think of course, Jesus, talking about a house divided cannot stand. And so in Matthew and in Mark, Jesus is quoted talking about a house divided cannot stand. And also over in Luke, the kingdom of heaven divided against itself, every kingdom, divided against itself is brought to desolation. And of course, knowing that Jesus taught the kingdom of heaven is within. So let's look at that. Metaphysically, the house is the body. It says in 2 Corinthians 6:16 that we are a temple of the living God. This is a body temple, right? So the house, dividing our house, our mind and our thought, our body against itself, or our mind and our heart, our mind and our spirit, or we could even say dividing where we say we want to go and the actions and thoughts and feelings that we are continually cultivating. If those are not matching up, we are a house divided. And then the kingdom, what is the kingdom? The Fillmores, in the metaphysical interpretation of the Bible, Charles Fillmore wrote, the kingdom of heaven is the orderly adjustment of divine ideas in mind and body. So that's ours to do, to attain that heavenly state within, is to adjust in an orderly fashion our thoughts and our mind and body experience to be in alignment with divine ideas. That's the mental inventory that we need to take every night. Am I being in alignment with divine ideas? Divine ideas like peace, divine ideas like wholeness and oneness, joy and love, harmony, connection, passion and purpose? Or am I in fear and worry and separation and anger and hurt and resentment and regret and protection and defense? Charles Fillmore also says, in order to find this kingdom, man must become conscious of divine mind and its realm of divine ideas. Becoming conscious of divine mind and the realm of divine ideas. That's what we do in prayer and meditation. We're not convincing the divine of anything. We're not out there begging God to give us anything. We are convincing ourselves, being conscious of divine mind and its realm. That's the work. Recognizing, as we do in step 1 of affirmative prayer that we call treatment, that God is everywhere by whatever name you give it, and therefore it is in, as, and through me in all of my affairs and all of creation. Recognizing, becoming conscious of divine mind and its realm of divine ideas. Fillmore went on to say, and being willing, here we go, to adjust thoughts to that divine standard. So are we willing to stop being loyal to past pain, to old beliefs, to someone else's idea for us? Are we willing to adjust thoughts to that divine standard of wholeness, of goodness, of life is for me, ever evolving as my good? Fillmore says, we adjust our thought world to the kingdom of divine ideas through the process of denials and affirmations. That's what we're doing in affirmative prayer. We are denying, and through those denials, we are eliminating from our consciousness any inharmonious ideas. And then through our affirmations of the one truth that life is for us and moving through all of creation and connecting us, through that one truth, we're affirming things that establish us in the harmony with these ideas, these divine ideas, this divine standard. Because otherwise we fall back into old patterns. We fall back into old ways. I love teaching. I'm probably going to offer a new class soon because I'm missing that. Not just because I see people's light bulbs go off and I see their lives change, but also because my light bulb continues to go off and my life continues to evolve in a better and better way as well, because I'm constantly bringing myself back to that light of truth. So I do it the best I can without teaching as well, through my prayer and meditation, through my interactions, through every single day, choosing to be in that space of being loyal to love and trust. Loyal to love and trust, letting go of anything that is not in alignment with that. This idea of loyalty and trust, it makes me think of Kitchy, my dog, one of our dogs. So we were in the mountains last November and wanted to cross this big river. And Angie had water shoes, but I didn't. My boots weren't waterproof, and so I was like, it's cold. That water's cold in June. I don't want to put my feet in it in November. So I found a tree across this big river. I'm not really one to go out there and do a balancing act, but I did that particular day. And I thought, and Kitchy hates the water. She's scared of it. And so she kept coming to the edge and barking and whining and barking and whining. I was like, but she loves me. And so she will come. She will eventually cross this river, and it's not going to hurt her. It's not too swift or too deep. It's going to be fine. The other dog was like, woohoo, this is great. And so I walked across as carefully as I could, not to wipe out, across this pretty good-sized tree across the river. And I turned to look for Kitchy, and she's in the middle of the river on that tree. I couldn't believe my eyes. She's walking across that tree to get to me. And I thought about that today, and when I was thinking about this talk of being loyal to love and loyal to trust, she trusts me, and she loves me, and she's loyal to me. That's the kind of love and trust I want to live from, and I want us to live from, in our love and our trust of the divine. And, to our pets, we're like the end all be all, like they'll follow us to the ends of the earth. Well, can we follow the idea of love and trusting that things are working out for our highest, greatest good, even when it's scary, even when the world can freak us out? Because that's when we do the best work for ourselves and for each other. Because what I do for myself, I do for you. What you do for yourself, you do for me. And as I do my best to stay dedicated, regardless of circumstances in the outside world, stay dedicated, stay loyal to cultivating that love and trust, then the more I continually bring my best self to the world. And the ways that I do that, two things that I'm going to say is prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation, when you add those into this mental inventory every night and that gratitude lifting up every night, I do it in the morning too. When you add in prayer and meditation, it's a game changer. They say that 2 minutes, just 2 minutes of silence, 2 minutes of silence relieves tension in the body and the brain and has proven to generate new cells in the brain, in the hippocampus specifically, responsible for memory and learning and emotion. Just 2 minutes of silence. Can you at least take 2 minutes of silence? Will you join me in taking moments of silence every single day? It renews your brain, and therefore your body, and therefore your experience of life. And then I was also thinking about this article in Psychology Today. It was years ago. I loved this article, though. It was fascinating to me that 30 minutes a day for 1 month rewires your brain. 30 minutes a day, that's all, of meditation for 1 month significantly changes the white matter, which, as you know, is the connector between the gray matter, right? It's how the brain talks to itself. It's how it communicates with the different parts of the brain. So the different parts of the brain were communicating better after just 1 month. 30 minutes a day of meditation. And it gets even better. It specifically enhanced the parts regulating emotion, thought, and behavior. Wow. Emotion, thought, and behavior were improved. Not to mention, I could go on with the cascade of chemical reactions in your body that help your immune system, that help your cardiovascular health, that's anti-aging, all of that stuff. So if you don't know how to do it, let's learn. Send us an email. I will walk you through it. It's not as hard as we make it out to be. If you are already meditating, up your practice. And if you're praying, I encourage you to learn the steps of treatment, the affirmative prayer that we teach, because it's not a begging, beseeching prayer that puts God somewhere way out there that you never get to have a relationship with. It is a communion with the energy of the divine wrapped all around us and moving through us, and a knowing that that is so, and therefore we open our heart and our mind, as that song I started out with today, when my mind becomes still and my heart opens up, I feel the presence of the divine, and from that place we speak our affirmative prayer, our affirmations into that place of knowing that the universe says yes. The universe says yes. Let us be loyal to love and trust. Loyal like Kitschy, right? To love and trust, to continually forge a new path and not fall back to the old way of thinking, the old way of being, the old way of doing. See, my thoughts affect my life, and my life affects the world. And the same is true for you. So I chose to talk a little bit about and sing for you today a song written by Kate Wolf, Across the Great Divide, partially because I wanted to honor Nancy Griffith, and I love her so much. I'm so incredibly grateful that that beautiful light was shining in my life, but also because as I was working on this talk, I was thinking about that song, because the talk is called Cross the Divide. So of course that song Across the Great Divide came to my mind, and I was like, yeah, but that's not really a song for Sunday. I don't know. And then I got to the last verse, and it made me reevaluate and re-examine the whole song, because it is exactly what I'm talking about. The last verse, let's see, I usually can't just speak it without singing it. The last verse, the finest hour I have seen is the one that comes between the edge of night and the break of day. It's when the darkness falls away. That's what we're talking about. It's crossing the divide between the darkness of fear, the darkness of old painful ways of being, into the light of love and trust, into the light of knowing that we are responsible for not being a house divided, but rather a house in alignment, a kingdom of heaven within that is in alignment with divine ideas, in alignment, adjusted accordingly, constantly ordering and adjusting our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions in accordance with divine truth. Being willing to adjust to that divine standard. Knowing that as we take the time to cross that greatest divide from old beliefs to new beliefs, from old ways of being to new ways of being, and it is a continual job, but knowing that as we do that, as we commit to that, we continue to create our personal world anew, and we continue to create, because there's a collective consciousness, not just an individual, we continually create a better world that respects all people, where people are safe, a world that works for everyone. That's why this individual work is so important. It's not just for us. It's for all of us. And it definitely also increases your joy quotient, which is what I'm talking about next week. So I hope you'll come back for that. Thank you. So Kate Wolf actually wrote this song that I want to sing for you, but I would like to do it today in dedication to Nancy Griffith, who was one of the biggest influences on my musical career and my life. And because in my head it fits the message today of crossing that divide. where the years went, I can't say. I just turned around and they've gone away. I've been sifting through layers of dusty books and faded papers, tell the story I used to know, but it was one that happened so long ago, and it's gone away yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Now I have heard the owl calling softly as the night was falling. Ask a question, I replied. Now he's gone across the borderline. He's gone away yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. The finest hour that I have seen is the one that comes between the edge of night and the break of day. It's when the darkness rolls away, and it's gone away yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. It's gone away yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Kids, we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you, and we love you just the way that you are. Divine love moving through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the good in my life. So please join us in the energy of gratitude as we just remind ourselves that we are abundant in so many ways. You are taken care of. I am taken care of. We are taken care of by the Spirit of love. You're being blessed. You are being blessed by it. I am being blessed by. We are being blessed by the Spirit of love. Right now is another chance. Sing that with me. Right now is another chance. Right now is another chance to live in abundance. Right now is another chance to realign. Abundance in all I speak this word, saying thank you, God, for all of the good in my life. Thank you for each and every member and friend of Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening, this beloved, connected, harmonious, loving community that is always celebrating diversity and inclusion and lifting one another up. I'm so grateful. So I speak a word also of blessing, knowing for each and every person giving of their time and their talent and their financial resources to this community, that they're actually giving back to the one source of all creation, and therefore it returns multiplied to overflowing. So if you are giving a financial gift this morning, there's lots of ways you can do that. Just always tap into the energy of gratitude as you do it, because you're giving back to God, and God gives back to you. And we continue this dance of beauty and reciprocity. Thank you, God. Right now is another chance. Right now is another chance. Right now is another chance to live in abundance. Live in abundance. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. You are taken care of. I am taken care of. We are taken care of by the Spirit of love. And so it is, and so we let it be. We are taken care of by that energy of love, and I'm so grateful. So join me in our closing song, if you would. Seems like there was something else. Oh, there is something else, yes. So coming soon to a beautiful retreat center near you, right outside of Hendersonville, North Carolina, the Unity Ministers of the Mid-Atlantic States, also known as UMAS, will be putting on their annual retreat again at Canoga. So we will be there, Angie and I, and we hope you will join us. It is a wonderful time to rejuvenate and refresh in the mountains of North Carolina, and that starts on August 31st. So if you're not already getting our newsletter, this would be a good time to sign up so you can get more information about all the things that we are part of and all the things going on to spiritually uplift you on a regular basis. So join us in our closing song, if you would. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let love. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We love you, we bless you, and we thank you. Have a fantastic week.